Hello, this is Krystal, and thank you for joining me for this week's First Chapter Friday. Today I will be reading from the beginning of Saul Bellow's The Adventures of Augie March. Chapter 1. I am an American, Chicago born. Chicago, that somber city, and go at things as I have taught myself. Freestyle, and will make the record in my own way. First to knock, first admitted, sometimes an innocent knock, sometimes a not so innocent. But a man's character is his fate, says Heraclitus, and in the end, there isn't any way to disguise the nature of the knocks by acoustical work on the door or gloving the knuckles. Everybody knows there is no fineness or accuracy of suppression. If you hold down one thing, you hold down the adjoining. My own parents were not much to me, though I cared for my mother. She was simple-minded, and what I learned from her was not what she taught, but on the order of object lessons. She didn't have much to teach, poor woman. Her brothers and I loved her. I speak for them both. For the elder, it is safe enough. For the younger one, Georgie, I have to answer. He was born an idiot. But I'm in no need to guess, for he had a song he sang as he ran drag-footed with his stiff idiot's trot, up and down along the curl-wired fence in the backyard. Georgie Mackey, Augie Simey, Winnie Mackey, Ewe, love mama. He was right about everyone save Winnie, Grandma Losh's poodle, a pursy, old, overfed dog. Mama was Winnie's servant, as she was Grandma Losh's. Loud-breathing and wind-breaking, she lay near the old lady's stool on a cushion embroidered with the Berber aiming a rifle at a lion. She was personally Grandma's, belonged to her suit. She was personally Grandma's, belonged to her suit. The rest of us were the governed, and especially Mama. Mama passed the dog's dish to Grandma, and Winnie received her food at the old lady's feet from the old lady's hands. These hands and feet were small. She wore a shriveled sort of lisle on her legs, and her slippers were gray. Ah, the gray of that felt. The gray despotic to soles. With pink ribbons. Mama, however, had large feet, and around the house she wore men's shoes, usually without strings, and a dusting or mob cap like somebody's fanciful cotton effigy of the farm of the brain. She was meek and long, round-eyed like Georgie, gentle green round eyes, and a gentle freshness of color in her long face. Her hands were work-reddened. She had very few of her teeth left, to heed the knocks as they come, and she and Simon wore the same ravelly coat sweaters. Besides having round eyes, Mama had circular glasses that I went with her to the free dispensary on Harrison Street to get. Coached by Grandma Losh, I went to the line. Now, I know it wasn't so necessary to lie, but then everyone thought so, and Grandma Losh especially, who was one of those Machiavellis of small street and neighborhood that my young years were full of. So Grandma, who had it all ready before we left the house, and must have put in hours plotting it out in thought and phrase, lying small in her chilly small room under the feather bed, gave it to me at breakfast. The idea was that Mama wasn't keen enough to do it right. That maybe one didn't need to be keen didn't occur to us. It was a contest. The dispensary would want to know why the charities didn't pay for the glasses. So you must say nothing about the charities. But that sometimes money from my father came and sometimes it didn't, and that Mama took boarders. This was, in a delicate and choosy way, by ignoring and omitting certain large facts. True. It was true enough for them, and at the age of 9 I could appreciate this perfectly. Better than my brother Simon, who was too blunt for his kind of maneuver. And anyway, from books, had gotten hold of some English schoolboy notions of honor. Tom Brown's school days for many years had an influence we were not in a position to afford. And if you would like to know what happens next, you can check out the audiobook version of this title on Libby. Please join me here next week as I read from the beginning of The Adventuress by Tasha Alexander. Thank you and have a great week.